Having a loyal fan base is every entrepreneur's dream, especially since social media has started to really define our success. And I'm sure we all can agree it's a learning process that will require some dedicated effort before your followers reach that level of commitment that we're looking for. The first step to building a ready to buy fan base: creating consistent content. Hello guys. My name is Lisa Ann and welcome to my channel. I am so happy that you've landed on this video today. With my channel specifically, what I do is I provide insights into social media marketing, automation techniques, and you guessed it, developing an online presence. Now today, I'll be talking about creating consistent content to build a loyal fan base who are actually willing to pay for your services. Are you ready for it? Okay, so let's dive right into all the fun details. So, the $1,000,000 question. How do you go about creating content? Content that's actually designed to attract your dream audience and turn them into raving fans. And obviously, how do you persuade that fan base to move forward and to work with you in some way, shape, or form? The first step is creating a fan base that is ready to buy is being consistent with your content creation. People really underestimate social media's power combined with the power of, let's say, blogging, vlogging, podcasting, or even just simply showing up with value on social media. This is what will help you convert in unbelievable ways online. So what is so powerful about being consistent? What's so powerful about actually just posting stuff online in general? Well, here's a few points that I want to go over today. First of all, you are consistently going to be in the eyes of your audience. Let's take for an example. You know that neighbor that is always tending to their garden? It's no wonder why their front lawn is so beautifully landscaped, because they are seriously out there all the time. They are constantly out there picking their garden or picking the weeds out of their garden. They're constantly out there planting new flowers. They're constantly cutting the grass, sweeping the sidewalk. They are out there all of the time, and it is really hard to miss them. With your marketing, ideally, that approach should be the exact same thing in the online world. Second, you can actually prove your knowledge, improve your expertise, and position you as the expert if you're consistently showing up. Now, I'm not recommending that you give away so much information that your customers won't actually need you anymore. What I am recommending is sharing some valuable tidbits, something that will leave your clients or your customers or your followers, leave them eager to learn more, or keen to have to really just come back weekly to kind of get that new piece of content from you. Think of it like an appetizer for information. Now, another point that I want to make about consistent content is that you can show off your portfolio, show off what you do in so many different ways. Do you have some impressive work, some impressive results that you've done with clients? Do you have a unique product or some noteworthy customers that you've had a pleasure working with in the past, a testimonial of some sort? As long as you haven't signed an NDA, of course, then you can share as much as you want, but of course, within reason. Now remember, you don't want to be giving everything away, just small tidbits to give them a quick win. Think of it as showing the results that you can get without actually showing the how. Now, another big one, especially right now in the online world, your consistent content means that you can connect with your audience 24/7, 365 days of the year, all around the world. While you're sleeping, traveling, playing with your kids, hanging out with your friends, your content is out there. And connecting with your audience is key. And I understand it doesn't come easily for every single person. But connecting with your audience is just as important as engaging with your audience. Now, some ways that you can think of doing this is by working some of the following things into your content, whether it's content on your website or whether it's with your social media posts. Here's some examples. You can describe a scene or a character or a client that you worked with. You could tell a story. You can tell a personal experience that you had based on the content that you are doing for your career. You can relate it to a recent event. You can show some compelling visual images. You can ask provocative questions. You could state a fact that is maybe troubling or amusing or just remarkable within your industry. You can even spell out what's at stake for your audience if they don't do or if they don't engage with the type of content that you're putting out there. You could explain your interest in a particular topic. You could offer a humorous observation or a funny story about either a past client or something that you did. But this actually takes me to my last point. And by the way, this is number 5 if you are taking notes about why consistent content is important. But with your consistent content, you can actually share other people's stories or information. So whether that means it's a customer testimonial, a client testimonial of your own, or maybe of another brand success story, you can put the highlight on someone or something else that one will show that you're humble and that while you may be educated in your field, you don't think you know it all. You can even feature news related to your market or your target audience and offer some thoughts of your own. Now, a quick side tip for you. Remember, you do want to make sure that you are really personal with your content versus the corporate approach. That corporate approach, that's gone dull. It's more or less out of style. Even financial companies, banks, Bell, Apple, everything is going beyond that. Now, this doesn't mean that you're copywriting or your videos to read like the text messages you're sending your best friend, but it should be exactly what your conversation would be like if you saw that person in person. Makes sense, right? Okay, so now that we've discussed the value of being consistent with your content, let's chat a bit about how you stay consistent. In my opinion, the best way to stay consistent with something that doesn't really just come naturally to you is to have a plan. You simply need a plan for it. One of the first things that I would recommend is a content calendar that you actually do in advance. I usually call this batching your content. And actually, I created an entire video about how to plan your content 1 month ahead of time. So I'll put that in the comments so you can get that training after you watch this one. But I personally love content calendars because it allows me to plan in advance. That way, I don't have to think about my content for the rest of the month. I do it once and then I don't have to think about it for an entire month. I get it though. Figuring out an idea for share-worthy content is not always the easiest task. So what I do is anytime an idea, let's say, just pops into my head, whether that's while I'm about to fall asleep, if that's during a coaching call, if that's while I'm working with clients, or even if I'm just binge watching a TV show, if an idea pops into my head, it actually goes into a brainstorming doc within my calendar. So an idea pops in, put it on a calendar, it's ready for me when I'm starting to plan out my content for the next month. Now, I also love calendars because it helps me narrow down different topics and themes for my audience. So usually, if you pay attention, all of my content kind of flows together. This also means that it helps me keep track of things that I've already covered. Having a content calendar will help you get super, super organized and stay on track. But still, something even better for you is taking that content calendar, that content that you've created, and actually scheduling it out for you. Scheduling tools, they are a core part of simplifying your content creation and actually attracting a loyal fan base without you even having to be on social media. So one of my favorite calendars or scheduling tools that I'm using is a program called Later. So I will link that in the description below. That way you can sign up for it, play with it, start making content really, really easy for you. And honestly, this program is a breeze. Now, I suggest a scheduling tool, especially if you are someone who is, let's say, consistently missing a day with content because either you got too busy, you had no idea what to post, or simply you just forgot. With tools like Later, and there are other platforms out there, you can really just sit back and relax. And I am not exaggerating. You plan it, you schedule it, and then it goes live for you. Now, once you set up and you schedule your content, you literally don't need to do anything other than occasionally checking in to see if people are engaging with your content. And you always want to make sure that you're engaging back. Now, learning how to create content consistently, that's one thing, but building an audience is a whole other ballgame. There is a formula to building a fan base that is ready to buy, but there are many, many moving parts, as you can already see. One part of the formula is that is you're actually putting in the work, but the other part of it is the work's quality. So let's say that you haven't already identified who your audience is or who that dream client is for you. You're probably going to have trouble attracting the right people into your business or into your social media because you don't know who you're talking to. But don't worry, I have a video for that one too. I will put that right below this video training. But this video specifically talks about your social media persona. And like I said, it's basically that one person that you're talking to. But let's recap a little bit about consistent content. Where should you begin if you want to create consistent content, but you have no idea where to start? My suggestion is to create a content calendar and get in the habit of doing it consistently. Of course, your content quality, that does really, really matter. But the quality of your content, it does not have to be 100% perfect the first times around. There is always time to refine your content, but just do it. Get on social media, write a blog for your website, shoot a YouTube video, shoot an IGTV, shoot a podcast. Doing those things consistently, that is your very first step. I want you to focus on using a content calendar and really just see how it can ease your content creation process overall. I have no doubt in my mind that you will find it a lot less stressful than it actually seems. Now, of course, if you have any questions regarding your content creation or anything in the online world, you can find me across all social media platforms at Lisa Ann Coaching. But as always, if you learned anything new today, if you liked this content, be sure to hit that like button right below this video. If you learned something new, or if you're looking for more marketing advice, digital marketing advice, make sure to subscribe to my channel to learn how to really leverage your personal brand in the online world. That's all I have for you today. I will see you in my next video, and enjoy your content creation. Bye for now.